Bible in a Year, the Message version, January 10 or Day 10, Genesis chapter 23, verse 1 through chapter 24, verse 51. Sarah lived 127 years. Sarah died in Kirath Araba, present-day Hebron, in the land of Canaan. Abraham mourned, for Sarah had wept. Then Abraham got up from mourning his dead wife and spoke to the Hittites. I know I'm only an outsider here among you, but sell me a burial plot so that I can bury my dead decently. The Hittites responded, Why, you're no mere outsider here with us. You're a prince of God. Bury your dead wife in the best of our burial sites. None of us will refuse you a place for burial. Then Abraham got up, bowed respectfully to the people of the land, the Hittites, and said, If you're serious about helping me, give my wife a proper burial. Intercede for me with Ephron, son of Zorah. Ask him to sell me the cave of Machpelah that he owns, the one at the end of his land. Ask him to sell it to me at full price for a burial plot, with you as witnesses. Ephron was part of the local Hittite community. Then Ephron the Hittite spoke up, answering Abraham with all the Hittites who were part of the town council listening. Oh, no, my master, I couldn't do that. The field is yours, a gift. I give it and the cave to you. With my people as witnesses, I give it to you. Bury your deceased wife. Abraham bowed respectfully before the assembled council and answered Ephron, Please allow me. I want to pay the price of the land. Take my money so that I can go ahead and bury my wife. Then Ephron answered Abraham, If you insist, master, what's 400 silver shekels between us? Now, go ahead and bury your wife. Abraham accepted Ephron's offer and paid out the sum that Ephron had named before the town council of Hittites, 400 silver shekels at the current exchange rate. That's how Ephron's field next to Mamre, the field, its cave, and all the trees within its borders, became Abraham's property. The town council of Hittites witnessed the transaction. Abraham then proceeded to bury his wife Sarah in the cave in the field of Machpelah, that is, next to Mamre, present-day Hebron, in the land of Canaan. The field and its cave went from the Hittites into Abraham's possession as a burial plot. Abraham was now an old man. God had blessed Abraham in every way. Abraham spoke to the senior servant in his household, the one in charge of everything he had. Put your hand under my thigh and swear by God, God of heaven, God of earth, that you will not get a wife for my son from among the young women of the Canaanites here, but you will go to the land of my birth and get a wife for my son Isaac. The servant answered, But what if the women refuse to leave home and come with me? Do I then take your son back to your home country? Abraham said, Oh no, never. By no means are you to take my son back there. God, the God of heaven, took me from the home of my father and from the country of my birth, and spoke to me in a solemn promise. I'm giving this land to your descendants. This God will send his angel ahead of you to get a wife for my son. And if the woman won't come, you're free from the oath you swore to me. But under no circumstances are you to take my son back there. So the servant put his hand under the thigh of his master, Abraham, and gave his solemn oath. The servant took 10 of his master's camels and, loaded with gifts from his master, traveled to Aram, Naharaim, and the city of Nahor. Outside the city, he made the camels kneel at the well. It was evening, the time when the women came to draw water. He prayed, O God, God of my master Abraham, make things go smoothly this day. Treat my master Abraham well. As I stand here by the spring, while the young women of the town come out to get water, let the girl to whom I say, 'Lower your jug and give me a drink,' and who answers, 'Drink, and let me also water your camels,' let her be the woman you have picked out for your servant Isaac. Then I'll know that you're working graciously behind the scenes for my master." It so happened that the words were barely out of his mouth when Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, also, whose mother was Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, came out with a water jug on her shoulder. The girl was stunningly beautiful, a pure virgin. She went down to the spring, filled her jug, and came back up. The servant ran to meet her and said, "Please, can I have a sip of water from your jug?" She said, "Certainly, drink." And she held the jug so that he could drink. When he had satisfied his thirst, she said, "I'll get water for your camels too, until they've drunk their fill." She promptly emptied her jug into the trough and ran back to the well to fill it, and she kept at it until she had watered all the camels. The man watched, silent. Was this God's answer? Had God made his trip a success or not? When the camels had finished drinking, the man brought out gifts: gold nose ring weighing a little over a quarter of an ounce, and 2 arm bracelets weighing about 4 ounces, and gave them to her. He asked, "Tell me about your family. Whose daughter are you? Is there room in your father's house for us to stay the night?" She said, "I'm the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah and Nahor, and there's plenty of room in our house for you to stay, and lots of straw and feed besides." At this time, the man bowed in worship before God and prayed, "Blessed be God, God of my master Abraham. How gracious and true you've been to my master. You've held nothing back. You led me right to the door of my master's brother." And the girl was off and running, telling everyone in her mother's house what had happened. Rebekah had a brother named Laban. Laban ran outside to the man at the spring. He had seen the nose ring and the bracelets on his sister, and had heard her say, "The man said this and this and this to me." So he went to the man, and there he was, still standing with his camels at the spring. Laban welcomed him. "Come on in, blessed of God. Why are you standing out here? I've got the house ready for you, and there's also a place for your camels." So the man went to the house. The camels were unloaded and given straw and feed. Water was brought to bathe the feet of the man and the men with him. Then Laban brought out food, but the man said, "I won't eat until I tell my story." Laban said, "Go ahead, tell us." The servant said, "I'm a servant of Abraham. God has blessed my master. He's a great man. God has given him sheep and cattle, silver and gold, servants and maidservants, camels and donkeys. And then to top it off, Sarah, my master's wife, gave him a son in her old age, and he has passed everything on to his son. My master made me promise, 'Don't get a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, in whose land I live. No, go to my father's home, back to my family, and get a wife for my son there.' I said to my master, 'But what if the woman won't come with me?' He said, 'God, before whom I'm walked faithfully, will send his angel with you, and he'll make things work out, so that you'll bring back a wife for my son from my family, from the house of my father. Then you'll be free from the oath. If you go to my family and they won't give her to you, you will also be free from the oath.' Well, when I came this very day to the spring, I prayed, 'God, God of my master Abraham, make things turn out well in this task I've been given. I'm standing at the well when a young woman comes here to draw water, and I say to her, "Please give me a sip of water from your jug." And she says, "Not only will I give you a drink, I'll also water your camels. Let that woman be the wife God has picked out for my master's son." I had barely finished offering this prayer when Rebecca arrived, her jug on her shoulder. She went to the spring and drew water, and I said, "Please, can I have a drink?" She didn't hesitate. She held out her jug and said, "Drink. And when you're finished, I'll also water your camels." I drank, and she watered the camels. I asked her, "Whose daughter are you?" She said, "The daughter of Bethel, whose parents were Naor and Milcah." I gave her a ring for her nose, bracelets for her arms, and bowed in worship to God. I praised God, the God of my master Abraham, who had led me straight to the door of my master's family to get a wife for his son. Now, tell me what you are going to do. If you plan to respond with a generous yes, tell me. But if not, tell me plainly so I can figure out what to do next. Laban and Bethel answered, "This is undeniably from God. We have no say in the matter, either yes or no. Rebekah is yours. Take her and go. Let her be the wife of your master's son, as God has made plain." Matthew chapter 8, verse 1 through verse 17. Jesus came down the mountain with the cheers of the crowd still ringing in his ears. Then a leper appeared and dropped to his knees before Jesus, praying, "Master, if you want to, you can heal my body." Jesus reached out and touched him, saying, "I want to. Be clean." Then and there, all signs of leprosy were gone. Jesus said, "Don't talk about this all over town. Just quietly present your healed body to the priest, along with the appropriate expressions of thanks to God. Your cleansed and grateful life, not your words, will bear witness to what I have done." As Jesus entered the village of Capernaum, a Roman captain came up in a panic and said, "Master, my servant is sick. He can't walk. He's in terrible pain." Jesus said, "I'll come and heal him." "Oh no," said the captain, "I don't want to put you to all that trouble. Just give the order, and my servant will be fine. I'm a man who takes orders and gives orders. I tell one soldier, 'Go,' and he goes. To another, 'Come,' and he comes. And to my slave, 'Do this,' and he does it." Taken aback, Jesus said, "I've yet to come across this kind of simple trust in Israel. The very people who are supposed to know all about God and how he works. This man is a vanguard of many outsiders who will soon be coming from all directions, streaming in from the east, pouring in from the west, sitting down at God's kingdom banquet alongside Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Then those who grew up in the faith but had no faith will find themselves out in the cold, outsiders to grace and wondering what happened. Then Jesus turned to the captain and said, "Go. What you believed could happen has happened." And at that moment his servant became well. By this time they were in front of Peter's house. On entering, Jesus found Peter's mother-in-law sick in bed, burning up with fever. He touched her hand, and the fever was gone. No sooner was she up on her feet than she was fixing dinner for him. That evening, a lot of demon-afflicted people were brought to him. He relieved the inwardly tormented. He cured the bodily ill. He fulfilled Isaiah's well-known revelation. He took our illnesses. He carried our diseases. Psalm chapter 9, verse 13 through verse 20. Be kind to me, God. I've been kicked around long enough. Once you've pulled me back from the gates of death, I'll write the book on hallelujahs on the corner of Main and First. I'll hold a street meeting. I'll be the song leader. We'll fill the air with salvation songs. They're trapped, those godless countries, in the very snares they set, their feet all tangled. In the net they spread, they have no excuse. The way God works is well known. The shrewd machinery made by the wicked has maimed their own hands. The wicked bought a one-way ticket to hell. No longer will the poor be nameless. No more humiliation for the humble. Up, God. Aren't you fed up with these empty strutting? Expose these grand pretensions. Shake them up, God. Show them how silly they look. Proverbs chapter 2, verse 20 through verse 22. So, join the company of good men and women. Keep your feet on the tried and true paths. It's the men who walk straight who will settle this land, the women with integrity who will last here. The corrupt will lose their lives, the dishonest will be gone for good. This was a daily reading of the Message version of the Bible, read to you by Bible in a Year.